Welcome to She Did It, 40 Years, 40 Stories, the EWMD podcast hosted by Simone Lersch and Ariane Bischoff. We will talk with 40 ladies of the network about their personal networking experiences and how EWMD positively influenced their career and lives. Listen to exciting stories and get a new idea on how networking can foster your professional journey. Welcome to the 10th session of the EWMD podcast, She Did It, 40 Years, 40 Stories. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen, and thank you very much to my speakers to be here, take the time and share their EWMD stories, especially in our year of the 40th anniversary. Today, I was meant to be joined by 3 ladies, and unfortunately, only 2 were able to join. We had technical issues, but we will try to catch up with the third lady at a later point. We have 1 lady from Turkey and 1 lady from Germany, and I would like to start with the EWMD story from Yasemin Ilhan from Turkey. Yasemin lives in Istanbul with her family, and she's an expert in chemical engineering. Since more than 6 years, she works as sales and marketing operations manager in a Turkish company whose name I'm not able to pronounce, so I'll leave that to Yasemin. And in her private life, she enjoys playing the guitar, traveling, and exploring new cultures. And knowing that there are differences between the EWMD countries, especially in Turkey, things are maybe different than there are here in Germany, in Switzerland, Spain, or in Italy. I'm very curious to hear your story, Yasemin. Thank you so much for joining. The stage is yours, please.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Yasemin Ilhan. I'm really excited to be sharing my journey with you as a part of the 40 years, 40 stories celebration for EWMD. My career in chemical engineering began with the love of science and innovations. And I also completed my PhD in Germany, in Max Planck Institute für Kornforschung. Sharpened my technical skills, okay, but also taught me the value of working with the others in a diversity, because that is an international institute which has workers, professionals from all over the world, and learning different perspectives to solve problems, learning different cultures. Now I'm working in a chemical company as a sales and marketing operation manager. Being a woman in such a male-dominating field was not easy, has never been easy. There were times when I had to prove myself and earn acceptance, which often felt like an uphill climbing. Even though you show some success, some people are always being very suspectful about your success. But that is my driving force, actually. That's been always my driving force, and they pushed me to keep going, to be creative and to find ways to stand out. I joined EWMD during this times in 2011. It's been a life-changing experience. One of my friends from Germany, during my PhD study, Özlem Weiss, advised me to join the group, and being part of this incredible network connected me with women who face similar challenges, actually. It doesn't matter where they are, everywhere in the world, and share the same drive. It's so empowering me to be a part of the community, not only supports to each other, but also works to increase the visibility of women in management and in their leadership roles. Because when we see the statistics, we see that women are always in the working world. They work too much, but if it comes with the leadership, if it's come to management, we see very rarely. In Turkey, it's around the 25% of managements But I didn't check the last statistic, but it's even less in Europe. There are some limitations and some challenges for women. This is very clear everywhere in the world, but in Turkey probably even too much. As my career progressed, I came to see how important mentorship and collaboration and supporting each other, especially between women. EWMD gave me a platform to exchange experiences, share knowledges, and inspire the others, inspire the young people while they are in the beginning of their journey. And I believe that together we can make a real impact, not just in our careers, but also in society as a whole, because it starts like a always little moving. Nobody will come and put magic to change the world, and we are the people to change this reality, I think, if we become together. One of the highlights of my journey has been leading EWMD Turkey since 2021-22. During the pandemic, all of our members had left, except Tanju and me. We were two. And the association, Turkish part, had lost its official status, and the Turkish chapter faced completely closing. And we practically start from zero, from scratch, and rebuild the entire chapter. Thanks to EWMD management and EWMD ladies everywhere from Europe, from world. Thanks to all their support for that. Today we have 35 members and also corporate members. This was a significant challenge for me. That was so difficult to start from zero to explain people about EWMD. But it's been incredibly rewarding also to see our community flourishing as we have grown our membership and started new initiatives. While we have made strides in making women more visible in leadership, we need to keep pushing forward to ensure the future generations of women. I dream of a world where women are not just the participants, but also become leaders, shaping the future. To close it, I want to thank EWMD for being such a powerful platform that connects us, helps us share our stories, and work together on meaningful projects. I encourage everybody to embrace their own journey, build strong connections, and lift others along the way. Together, we can face challenges and build a better future for women everywhere in the world. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. It is lovely. It is very empowering to hear that early in the morning. I can imagine how difficult it is to start a chapter from zero. But you must know, being at 35 members, including a corporate member, that is really a success story. That is really something where even us here in Rhine-Ruhr, which is, a long-term chapter, I think we have 40. We're not much larger than that, and we've been around for a long time. My congratulations, compliments to the achievement, starting at zero and getting to 35. We don't have a corporate member, I just realized. So there's some work to do.
I can give you some clues.
Yeah, you can give us you can teach us how to get a corporate member.
Oh, not like teaching, but just little clues maybe would work.
Thank you so much, Yasmin. That's great. Let's continue with our second guest and second speaker, which is Anke Rohfleisch from Stuttgart, Germany. Anke lives with her family in Stuttgart and has been or is part of EWMD Germany in the chapter Baden-Württemberg. She loves finance, but she discovered in 2018 her true passion in change and change management. She works as a consultant in Deloitte in the banking field, and in her free time, she runs EWMD Germany as a president. And as if that's not enough, she also is a volunteer as facilitator in a moderation network for the Catholic Church. Anke became member during COVID in 2020, and she will share with us her large and wide array of experiences from her journey within EWMD. And this is not something that I take for granted because you are going through difficult times on a health level. And therefore, I'm very pleased that you're with us today. Please, the stage is yours.
Hello, Ariane. Well, thank you for the warm welcome. The pleasure is just on my side. You said it already. My EVMD story started in 2020 during Corona times when everybody moved into home office, which I didn't really like because I felt cut off from my people and team. So I knew EWMD because Mercedes-Benz, my employer at that time, is a corporate member. And when I joined the first virtual EVMD meetings, I was highly impressed how fast and swiftly EWM Germany shifted its activity to the internet, offering really great online events. But also in 2020, I decided to take a settlement package and leave Mercedes-Benz Bank. I did not have a plan then. It was just the feeling, to start something new in my mid-50s before I'm waiting till I'm 60. And what I knew, I needed a new network. And so I joined EWMD de facto got a double career. To develop my new business perspective, I joined an EWMD power team that helped me to focus my portfolio and to develop career options as consultant, organizational developer, and moderator. Because as you said, my passion really is to accompany people and organization in transformation processes and help them to successfully master critical situations. I was planning to offer such services as an independent entrepreneur because I did not match the classic recruiting selection criteria of big consultancy firms being beyond 50. Yet, things tend to turn different than planned. On the advice of my power team, I contacted directly some consultancy partners who were impressed by the portfolio and who circulated my CV in the firm. And this is how I finally joined Deloitte Consultancy in 22 and being really flattered by so much attention. The second career is within EWMD itself. I think it was even you, Ariane, right, who recommended Catherine Schwirz, co-president 22, to ask me to become the new treasurer of EWMD. And what convinced me to say yes was the easiness and the flexibility, how we try to organize the work of the board. EWMD engagement is volunteer work. We do it in our private time. So one should only contribute as one likes and is able to. We want to work as a team in an agile format and want to make sure EWMD engagement is also fun. And yes, there was a lot of work for me as a treasurer, but it was indeed fun. I invested my time, my expertise, and enthusiasm, and I got back so much recognition, appreciation, and a place to try out new things. For example, I participated in a branding event, Ariane, you might remember that one, and learning the power of storytelling. I organized a weekend retreat for young professionals, and in February this year, I moderated a big networking event on gender equality with the keynote of the renowned sociologist Dr. Jutta Almendinger and subsequent discussion with partners from politics and business and with 100 women with exciting, diverse life stories from our region, Baden-Württemberg. It was so great, a real experience. Clearly, as a newbie, there is no better and faster way to get to know the network and its great women than to engage in EWND activities. And listening to others here, it seems to me that encouraging new members to engage and take up responsibilities early is a trademark of our network. And what I also like about EWMD, we pass on the baton. A board position is leadership for a given time, nothing anyone would cling to. So in October 23, I rotated to the position of new president. Birgit Jünger joined as co-president. Jessica succeeded me as treasurer. And the team is great. And I only can encourage others to do so. Just jump, meet, share, and engage, right? This is what I really want to tell everybody. Enjoy our GATE network, EWMD.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Yes, meet, share, and engage, our three values and our activities in the network. And I can only agree more. It's how I started in the network. I was traveling on a learning journey to Paris, and just being 3 months, 4 months part of the network in 2017, and got caught by Ziggy Schneider, the president at the time, in the bus traveling to a site, a company. And she was like, "Don't you want to become EWMD president?" And I'm like, "What? No, I don't know the network. Are you crazy? Who am I to do this?" And she's like, "Yes, yes, why not?"
And she did it. She did it. And it's,
I gave in. I gave in, and I will never forget. Had a briefing session in Wiesbaden with Sigi and Nadine Milot, who were at the time presidents, and they were giggling all the time when they were introducing me to the bits and pieces, and they had some manuals and printed out, highly professional, and I was getting frightened ever more. And they were like, "No, it's not a lot of work. Don't worry." And they kept giggling all the time, and I'm like, "I'm not sure about this." But yeah, this is what you mentioned, Anke. At the end of the day, I think it was a lot of fun, and I'm very pleased that I did it, because EWMD pulled me forwards, pulled me on a level that I would not have taken. I would have not dared to take the step and stand up and say, "I'm going to do this." But EWMD or Sigi said, "You do it. Come on, you step up and you do it." And I learned a lot. It was work, sure, but the biggest learning for me was, and you mentioned that, Anke, I decide how much work and effort I put in on a volunteer basis. And it's me who decides how much fun I have. And the more fun I have, the better I am, and the more positive is the outcome for the network. So it's not about stressing and having another stressful thing to do. It's about saying, "I like to do it. And if I don't like it, I'm not doing it because it's my free time." And then I go and recover. But it's a challenge. It's not as easy as it sounds, right, Anke?
yeah. And I would just say hashtag Freudenfreude. I don't know, Yasmin, whether you've heard about it. Our annual theme this year of EWMD Celebration Germany is hashtag Freudenfreude. It's about right this. It's about the happiness we feel when someone else succeeds and the shared joy and the enthusiasm that spreads thereby in our network. And this is what I really feel this year. This is true for our network. Yeah.
Yasmin, I think I'm not sure if you had heard about this Freudenfreude. And the first time I heard about it, I was really confused. I thought, what is that for an odd word? But then I read about it, and it's the counterpart to Schadenfreude, which is a very typical German word, also international. But the counterpart to Schadenfreude, when you are happy about somebody else failing, is Freudenfreude. That's when you're happy when we see somebody else succeeding. And I think it's true that at EWMD we are very happy seeing people striving, seeing our members, other people succeeding in their path of career, in their lives, in their challenges, which are always difficult. But EWMD also stands for Every Woman Makes a Difference. And here's a question to you both that I'd like to know. Yasmini, maybe you want to start. Where did you, or where do you make a difference? And we all do, but it's maybe sometimes difficult to talk about it, but I'll challenge you.
That's a good question. And is a personal one? Then I think I'm a little bit stubborn because everybody, when we lost every member in the group, everybody said that it's over. So we are not earning money. We are, as you said, we are giving our free time. We must have fun, or this is sharing. But somehow I couldn't just quit easily because I realized that we have done a lot. We ran learning journey in Istanbul, international conference in Istanbul, very different projects, mentorship. And I thought that it's not the time to quit. So I believe that we have a lot of things to do for the woman and for this collaboration. So that I think that makes me a bit different because I'm a little bit stubborn, never stop. But for EWMD woman, that also makes a bit different because we have a different culture, very traditional culture in compared to European culture. I think EWMD woman, Turkish part, I mean, they already saw some cultural inequality towards the woman. So they have seen in their lives a lot of times. So that's why they are here. I think that makes them a bit different, and they saw the differences. They saw real problems in the culture in terms of the woman and gender equality. So we are coming from the inside of this traditional problem. So that makes, I think, EWMD Turkish chapter a bit different.
So, coming back to my question, where you made a difference, you certainly made a difference in keeping the baton up for EWMD Turkey. And without your engagement and your striving power and the power of Tanju, there would be no EWMD Turkey anymore. So, thank you so much for sticking to it and being stubborn.
Thank you.
It's
I
the
can
right
I can
mindset.
I can do without EWMD management supports. I remember that every IB meetings online, they kept me motivated. They support me all the way. So it's unforgettable. I should say I
Lovely,
could do a lot.
lovely, lovely,
I
lovely.
can do. Thank
For
you.
the question to Anke, where she made a difference, I am, if you allow, would like to answer that question for you because I know where you made a huge difference. And you mentioned it, the treasurer, you when you took over the treasurer part of EWMD Germany at the time. That was during my when I just finished my presidency, and you and Katrin took over, and we had a severe badly situation and a bit of a chaos in our accounts. And after not even a year, you had straightened out all the bits and pieces and had set up the foundation of a financial structure that was super professional and totally easy, I think, for somebody to jump in and continue on the basis that you have laid, on the foundation that you have laid. And that was a hell of a work, but very helpful for us and kept the transparency within the network on a high level, which we are always used, that we share all the bits and pieces. But the financial transparency has professionalized tremendously. So thank you so much for making a difference at that point.
Well, thank you for the flowers. Um, but what I really must say, it's the teamwork what I'd like at EWMD. Yes, I brought in my expertise because I'm a banker, a trained one, but it would not have been possible with all the support because we are like a decentralized network, and the people got convinced, they followed. And even now, you mentioned that currently it's a little bit difficult. Yeah, things turned always different than planned. I was diagnosed breast cancer in March, and I was not sure in the beginning how I would get through the treatment, how I would deal with my presidency. But honestly, I didn't need to worry because there is such a great team in EWMD and we managed perfectly. And it really helps to know that there is a strong network which can cover and manage also with situations we've never had before, right? And this supports me great. And actually, it's also this podcast which supported me. I really want to take, now that we have the time, the opportunity. I started in the last month to listen to the EWMD podcast series. She did it. And I was so strengthened by these matches, really creative and inspiring stories of all the EWMD women, many of whom I know personally. So again, thanks everybody who's listening now for sharing your stories with me. Yes, thank you so much. It's encouraging our network.
It is. From my own experience, I can say the word network is for me a thing where, like a net that I can fall in and it holds me. I had situations where things were tough and, tears were rolling, and I had friends and members out of DMWD who I can call, and they help me on a mental but also on a professional level. And this is for me the extraordinary element within EWMD that I can share. I have discussions with ladies where I'm connected, but we have content wise tough discussion on important topics, but there are in a meaningful and in a heartwarming way the discussions. And when you find yourself in a difficult situations, you know, and I think many of us have experienced that there are members within the network who will listen to your story and listen in a way that they say, you know what, I know that person, maybe she can help, maybe she can do this or that. It might not improve your situation by 100%, but it gives you little bit perspective and keeps the wheel rolling to get you out from where you are. And there also our support group, our WhatsApp support group, is a super element feature in the network, which shows how fast we can post a question, I need this and that, does somebody know somebody, and normally within minutes we get answers out of on the support group, and we get serious and qualified suggestions where to find information, where to find support, where to find help, and also simple mental support and to feel better. It's a pity that Tanshu wasn't able to join us, but you wonderfully filled the session. Thank you so much, both of you, for being here and being part of that. Thank you to the listeners of our EWMD podcast for joining today. This has been our last online session of the third episode. She did it, 40 years, 40 stories. But don't miss out. There will be our very first live on tape recording during the 40th anniversary conference in Madrid on Saturday, 27th of October. Simone Lersch will be on site in Madrid and interview a founding mother of EWMD. Founding was in 1984, and she will also interview further international members. Thank you for have tuned in today. Stay tuned with us. Have a lovely time wherever you are, and speak to you soon. Bye bye.